You got to be kidding me. Are you telling me "Let's Go Brandon" really means what they are saying here? Okay, friends, welcome once again to Look and Live. My name is Pastor James Devalon. I've been hearing this slogan, "Let's Go Brandon." It's been said over and over again on many different platforms. We're gonna do a reaction video today to an artist by the name of Bryson Gray. You guys should know a lot about Bryson Gray for now. We have a few of his content on this channel here. But before I do that, I wanted to check out kind of like somewhat the history behind the slogan "Let's Go Brandon" here. So we're gonna pause and watch this video quickly. And yeah, I thank you for your comments, guys, because last time I listened to Kid Rock's song, we spoke about "We the People," and I heard the statement "Let's go Brandon, let's go Brandon," and I'm thinking, what does that mean? You know, I was really ignorant until I found out and read my comments. And then I said, okay, and also, hey, let's check out the history here, and then we're gonna see how this is somewhat related. It's a big thing. I didn't realize how serious of a movement this was. A small movement is bigger than a slogan, but nevertheless, let's go into this quickly, and then we're gonna react to Bryson's video afterward.
Oh my God, it's just such an unbelievable moment.
Brandon, you also told me, as you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go.
No, that's not what they're saying.
As you can hear the chants from the crowd, let's go Brandon.
Let's go Brandon. That's not what they're saying. That is crazy. How did she miss that? Oh, she probably just deliberately bypassed that.
Viewing NASCAR driver Brandon Brown, this NBC sports reporter misheard chants coming from the crowd and unwittingly created a new right-wing slogan.
In this case, they very clearly were screaming Joe Biden.
Let's Go Brandon took off on social media. For some, the phrase came to embody an out-of-touch mainstream media that was either clueless or trying to defend President Biden.
It's not a slur, folks, nor is it offensive, nor is it just about Joe Biden.
The language disguised as a crude expletive, seen by many on the right as a clever way to insult Biden and his administration.
That's just how humans communicate. This has become really popular in Trump critique, like, oh, it's a dog whistle. They might be using like figurative language to express a literal idea, but that's not code. It's not new to use playful, maybe kind of mean language to mobilize bases.
And it's not just private citizens who are using the phrase.
Let's go, Brandon. Are you with me?
Taken up by Republican politicians. Senator Ted Cruz tweeted it. A member of Congress wore a mask with the phrase on it.
And this is South Carolina Congressman Jeff Duncan.
And another used it to end a floor speech.
They want you to help put America back where you found it and leave it the hell alone. Let's go, Brandon. I yield back.
Yo, he just said it. He put... No, Bill Ballsy, you can't do that.
Leave it the hell alone.
Yes, he did.
Let's go, Brandon.
That tells you that some people have a very strong sentiments against some of the things that Mr. Joe has been doing. I can't blame them for that either, because I feel the same way, but I choose to express myself differently.
I yield back.
A caller from Oregon even managed to say it directly to the president on Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas and let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Because
poor Joe. Maybe he didn't realize what was going on here. Oh,
the phrase doesn't explicitly include a swear word, it has been dismissed as a joke.
If you give it credit and you think of it as a complex language strategy and you look at all of its components.
Did they say F Joe B? Are you kidding, yo? I see. This is why I will never run for president.
As a joke.
If you give it credit and you think of it as a complex language strategy and you look at all of its components, you're giving them credit. And I get why people want to dismiss it as stupid. And I think one of the things that's happened with post-Trump language critique is we're critiquing the constituency the same way we're critiquing Trump. But the constituency doesn't need to apologize for what it says. It doesn't need to say, oh, I was only joking.
But experts in political rhetoric say it means more than the often crude language former President Trump used to rile up his supporters.
If Let's Go Brandon isn't just a joke version of Joe Biden, which I don't think it is, like, what is it on its own?
Yeah,
nobody wants to sort of be in opposition forever. So Let's Go Brandon is like a weird way of being able to start campaigning for a replacement when there isn't one.
I'm not sure if I personally do agree with that statement she just made here, but nevertheless, she's entitled to it.
It's energizing the base and keeping just basically an empty slot where they can put any candidate in, and also pulling the pressure off the desire for Trump by, instead of Trump 2024, now it's like, let's go Brandon, because Brandon could be anybody. It being a veiled insult is the least interesting thing about it. It's a whole new discourse of political mobilization.
Now, the big question to be asked, though, is why do people feel so strongly about the leadership of Joe Biden and they choose to put a slogan such as that, even though it must be misunderstood by the NASCAR Brandon, the NASCAR winner. He realized his name started a whole movement here. But nevertheless, yeah, the big question is why do people feel that way? But the proof is in the pudding. So when we look at the inflation rate, the borders are left unchecked, the immigration policies and some of the DHS, disinformation governing boards came about supposedly to help monitoring speech, particularly for American, although he comes with different notion. And so there are really good reasons. Now we have a war in Ukraine where at first it was like, we're not going to Ukraine. There will be no boots. No American boots on the soil of Ukraine, but that narrative has changed. If you haven't paid attention, we are somewhat physically in war with Ukraine. Not only are we funding them, but there are soldiers there, but they may not be physically fighting. But it seems like things are leading in that direction anyway. So there's so many things here that we can look at, and I do agree there are some positives as well, but the wrongs just overshadows the bads to the point where you can understand why a slogan such as that has become monumental among the people for a number of reasons. And I think people have even more reasons for feeling the way they do. So particularly, how do I feel about the leadership of Joe Biden? I don't personally agree. I don't think he is a good president. I never thought he was from the time he got elected. I thought he was so old that he was not even fit for the job. If you were to ask me, I never even voted. I was like, yo, something's wrong with this notion. It seems that there was so much a push to get rid of Joe Biden from the White House for whatever the reason may have been, that they were willing to accept anything and anyone. And I think Joe Biden was just a replacement for Donald Trump because they just had to get him out of there. So anyway, let's make sure we let's take a listen now to Let's Go Brandon by Bryson Gray, and I'm gonna see, and also featured Tyson James and Chandler Crump. Okay, I've never heard this one before. I'm pretty sure he's going to cap it all up for us here. So let's take a listen, guys. Let's now get into the heart of the message.
Various shots that people are getting now cover that.
Wait. You just quoted Revelation 13, 16 to 17 here, talking about he causes small to receive a mark in the right hand, their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark of the beast, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Mistake here, by the way. I'm not sure necessarily how you connect the vaccine to the mark of the beast. I think that's a propaganda that is not really rooted in biblical narratives. But nevertheless, it is what it is.
You're okay. You're not gonna get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
Somebody gotta do it.
He's got
it. Let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
He's got his nigga.
Biden said the jab stopped the spread. It was.
He's got his shirt say "Impeach Biden, make America great again." This is a controversial artist, man. He's starting trouble. However, there is a place for men like that in our society because certain things in our systems need to be challenged, and those who feel certain way, I do agree with the fact they should be able to speak their views. That's what freedom of speech is all about. And there are some things that are in our culture that are going wrong. I think to be quiet is even more dangerous than speaking out loud.
Lies. I remember how you roll, but you haven't opened your eyes. These politicians are demons just in disguise. Look at Kyrie Irving and Nicki Minaj. Look at Australia, that's what's coming next if we don't stand up. Stop complying with them taking our rights, it's time to man up.
Yeah, when you see like policies in our country are starting to aim at people in leadership position, celebrities and so on, these individuals, they themselves had to confront some of these things. He begins to realize, man, these people are really pushing their narrative by any means necessary at the expense of somebody's conscience and the freedom of conscience and will and desire. We don't care how you feel about it. It is what it is. We want you to get on board with that and conform and comply, or else. And I think when they went after Kyrie Irving and Nicki Minaj, it was like, hey man, guys, let's brace ourselves.
Republicans voting for red flag laws, that's just what I can't trust. If you ask questions about the facts, then they gonna ban us. Hey, this is about control, everybody knows, everyone complies with the kinds of pros. I don't need a plane, I just hit the road, I do what I want, I can't sell my soul, market about to crash, this is what you chose, ruining the country, I think that's the goal. You gon' take the mark, I take narrow roads, I'm a man of God, I can never fold.
Yeah. It's about control, everybody. No, I do also agree with that, because so much in connection to the, pestilence 19 inoculation, it was never really truly about the health of the people. I'm sure there were some who were like, okay, we want what is best for you, and I'm working in conjunction to that. But some were obviously looking to use the pandemic as an entering wedge to bring about their own insidious agenda. Well, we know that to be true now, but it was very difficult to tell at first. But I think what he's talking about, Bryson Gray, is on point again. This didn't necessarily have much to do with health, if you were asking me. Shutting down the whole country for the purpose of bringing about what? Bringing things down and changing. I mean, it is what it is. But it was very obvious this had nothing to do so much with the health of the populace. This had much more to do with those in power who were looking for a reason to control. Never let a good crisis go to waste. Isn't that what they told us? Anyway.
Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planted. Hey, let's go, Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon.
Here comes trouble.
Let's go, Brandon.
Here comes the other one. Here comes. He's got his guns too. Hey, you have the right to own one, right?
Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey,
let's go, Brandon, and it's clear that man a wreck. Hey, let's go, Brandon. Now the Taliban a threat. Hey, you planned it, now the Taliban is standing on our neck. Chanting death to America, you are barely president. Listen, I don't think you hear, man. Let me make it clear, man. Better keep your hands into yourself, that stuff is weird, man. I wish I could take you in the back place, smear the queer, man. You could take the vax, I fear God. I don't fear man. I'm on.
Oh, man. Yeah. You can take the vax, I fear God, I don't fear men. I partially agree with this. But in the light of COVID-19, he's correct. But generally speaking, that's not really a good position to take, even as a Christian, right? There are certain things we might need to do and go with, because in the process of fearing God, God gives wisdom to men, and sometimes He gives wisdom to people who are not even Christians, right? So if something is good as a Christian, even though I feel God, I can go along with the goodness that is in something, even if the person who is bringing about this thing may not be of the Christian faith. That's being balanced. But the second thing is to trust my life in the hands of another man while I lose my confidence in God. That is a problem. On that foundation, I agree with him. Our confidence ought to be placed in God rather than men. All right, let's keep moving.
Gear 10, believe me, we ready to rumble. The only play the Joe can execute is a fumble. I think we all know he's out to lunch. That dude went camping. I'm a Christian, so how do I say this? Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I keep a drum like I'm a cannon. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planted. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. When you ask questions, they start banning. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, let's go,
Brandon. We know he capping. Patriots out in the street taking action, hunting us down for speaking the truth. Beat on the pedal to save all the youth. Media lying, ignore all the crying. They building back better.
So this is Chandler. Crump. All right, but he's got a serious, nice flow. First time I'm hearing this guy. He looks very young, by the way.
Let's go, Brandon. We know he capping. Patriots out in the street taking action, hunting us down for speaking the truth. Beat on the pedal to save all the youth. Media lying, ignore all the crime. They building back better, but only the Taliban pilots on strike. But to Joe, it's irrelevant. Open the border, lose all the order, divide us up so they know that we never win. But we united. We here in the stadiums, everyone chanting it, seeing it slandering. Biden collapsing and Democrats stealing it. Hey, we look at Joe.
Oh man, he is nice though. But yeah, talking about opening the border, that is something that I still can't really fully understand why they're doing that. You know, nevertheless, it's very strange. We have walls for our home. We protect our own facilities, but when it comes to the borders of our country, we leave that wide open. Anyway, I'll stay quiet.
We here in the stadiums, everyone chanting it, seeing it slandering. Biden collapsing and Democrats stealing it. Hey, we look at Joe. Can we get a refund? How about some mean tweets? Joe is a crook and he knows how to deceive. FJB is the motto in these streets. Let's go, Brandon. Sing it with me.
I keep a drum like I'm Nick Cannon. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. Hey,
yeah, could we talk about that? Yeah, how come when we ask question, you want to bend down and shut down our voices, right? DHS, Disinformation Governance Board, we are doing this to deal with some of the issues that are coming at the country, the enemies of America, but I wonder how much longer is going to be before the tides start turning against the very people of America, you know, and then before you know it now, here we are facing some real censorship. So in other words, we thought we had censorship problems on these platforms. Brace yourself. It's only going to get worse. You can't ask questions. You can't disagree. Neither should you put out another narrative to contradict their own, or else you're going to get shut down. And a lot of the things that people were complaining about has been affirmed and confirmed. They were right all along.
Brandon, pandemic ain't real, they just planned it. Hey, hey, let's go, Brandon. You ask questions, they start banning.
Yeah, they start banning.
Hey, let's go, Brandon.
Why is that?
Let's go, Brandon. Hey.
Oh, gosh, I tell you. Powerful. Powerful. Wow. Very, very great song. I love the content. Love the message of the song. The visuals were very simple. Each one of them came with a power punch and, you know, strong punchlines on many different issues that we are seriously facing today. And I have to agree with the nature of the song, even though I may not agree with the statement in itself. Although I don't like the interpretation of that statement, I do understand the spirit behind it and the reasons for it. Yeah, well said, well done, powerful content. Love it. Love it. The reasons and the message that are being put out here by Bryson, James, and Chandler, Crump, and also yeah, it just makes a lot of sense, you know. Well, I tell you one thing that I do notice when I look at some of these social issues. One thing I've taken notice of is that as a Bible-believing Christian, I'm realizing more and more each and every day as the corruption deepens and things are getting worse. I'm beginning to realize I really need to see that the second coming of Jesus Christ is even at the doors. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. In Scripture, it says this, right? Jesus done give these signs of the times when you go through these entire signs of the end age kind of thing. When you crawl down to verse 33, Jesus says, likewise, when you shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors. And he says, verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away. So you may need to read Matthew 24, Mark chapter 16, Luke 17, Luke 21. Read these passages together. It's going to show you what is going on in our generation right now as we speak. You also want to add 2 Timothy chapter 3 verses 1 to 7 and read these passages together. Even James chapter 5, if you want to read about the finance of the world, what is happening and how things are getting cankered and how things are changing. Yeah, this is going to give you a picture of what is happening, signs of the times in the light of Christ's second coming. And what I'm seeing here with all the political corruption and all the so-called made promises that are broken, all those people who are hungry for power, those who are trying to dominate the culture in the name of safety. But what I do see right behind that is that the signs of the time, the prophetic events are all culminating, showing that soon and very soon Jesus is coming again. So I'm not saddened by this. While I am careful, while I am prayerful, while I am thoughtful and working things out, at the same time I'm looking at this as, amen, these things are to come to pass. We are to see these issues because they are ushering us to the end of the world and the return of Jesus Christ. So as a Christian, it's exciting to me. So if you have not made Christ Lord and Savior of your life, I got one question for you. What are you waiting for? All right, friends, thank you for checking out this content with me, and like and subscribe to the page. Love the content, love the artist, love the message as well. Yeah, let's go, Brandon. I may not agree particularly with the interpretation. I choose not to use that against anybody, regardless of who they are. But nevertheless, I do understand the nature of the statement and the reason behind it. And those of you who go along with that statement, you are more entitled to say it. But I choose to keep that out of my mouth. But nevertheless, God bless you all. Appreciate you. Thank you for checking out this content. Until next time, have a good one. And as always, look unto Jesus and live by faith. Have a good one. Bye.